Good evening, everyone. Welcome by a new video market review. I hope you have enjoyed the buy the dip video and the market review of yesterday. If you didn't, please check it. Sometimes I'm just watching the chart without any lines of myself, without any indicators further. Yeah, you see the RSI, but I'm generally not watching the RSI too much. And when I see this clean chart, I'm seeing a perspective in which the price is actually bullish. We are still making new higher lows. Over here we did see a retracement towards 8.6, which in general was a new higher low. Yes, we are also making lower highs, but I'm finding this structure way different than the structure we've seen here, in which we have witnessed that during this part there was a clear bearish divergence, implying that we are reversing, and after that strong bearish retest with heavy sell-offs, which is different right now, in which I'm seeing a general healthy correction in which we are just making a higher lows and bullish pennant construction, in which I suspect that the market is more ready to continue to the upside post-halving, rather than seeing the market continue to drop down again. Yes, there is a likelihood that we should test some lower levels before continuation, but given that we might test the highs first, I assume that maybe it's even more likely to see 11k before 7k, or just at the moment with this construction I'm suspecting that we're going to see continuation. I've also been discussing that the majors should really start to flow and start to see some momentum. Well, we have seen that on Cardano with some release updates and a new roadbook, whatever it was, roadmap. And Ethereum waking up as it broke through a pretty significant resistance level. Both subjects have been covered on this YouTube channel as well, so if you didn't check it out yet, please do. And given that we are still above the 100-day MA and 200-day MA, I'm just expecting that we should be seeing continuation on the markets rather than downwards momentum. I just don't see the fractal, and usually fractals don't work out. So yeah, it's just whatever bias fits, right? If we zoom in, I've tweeted this earlier today. I've also pointed out that I wanted to see a liquidity tap below 8.6, which we didn't get, which is fine. After that, the breakthrough above 8.950, clean support resistance flip at 9,050, rejection at 96, which was the next target zone, 96, 97 after this level. And now we are pretty much flipping the 9.3 level, which I find a crucial pivot. In which one of the scenarios is that we're just going to continue grinding inside this range, and during this period you will see altcoins doing pretty much fine. The moment that Bitcoin breaks above the range high and starts to break above this 10k zone, I suspect that we're going to see a similar move as we have seen over here, in which you get a 1k candle. Once we get such a move, or once we get above the range high, especially after construction of more than a month, I generally want to be out of my altcoins. Why? I suspect the BTC pairs to drop heavily when you see such a volatile move on Bitcoin, as when we break above 10k, I suspect that we're going to break through 10.5, and then the next zone is 11 and 11.5, and given that we've got a CME gap at 11.4 or so, I suspect that we could rally towards there. And then when Bitcoin is finished rallying and starts to make a new consolidation period, it's time to buy the dip on altcoins. I still believe that that's the momentum right now. So once Bitcoin gets towards the range high and makes a construction in which we flip the level for support and start to grind up, it's time to decrease your altcoin exposure. But until then, in this period, everything is fine if this scenario plays out. If we lose this level, however, I do believe that we're going to continue to test the zones over here. Then we get a completely different construction, as when we make a breaker like this and make another lower high, bearish retest on 9.3 and then a continuation towards 8.6, I suspect that we're going to test the levels over here. So either way, we're getting into a compression zone in which we are going to choose direction relatively soon. I prefer the upwards momentum, as I suspect that once we get this upwards momentum, the majors will follow suit as well. If we drop down, I suspect that BTC pairs will only get crushed inside such a heavy candle down, which will happen if we lose the range low. I suspect that we just get a 1k candle down. That would be painful, but then still the same applies. Buying the dip is the approach right now, in which I believe that we are inside a bull market. So that's the view on Bitcoin and my two scenarios. Let's check some total market cap charts in which we have been discussing this as well. If you check the clean chart, we can see that this is just a beautiful construction before continuation. I just don't see a bearish outlook here. I'm definitely not shorting at the moment at all. I'm only shorting if we take the high and drop below the previous resistance and can't claim it as support, in which we might make a bearish divergence or something like it. At the moment, it's just a bullish construction in which we have seen a similar construction in May 2019, after which we continue to rally. We also see an increased volume. We also see that the market cap is moving above the 200 and 100 day MA. Flip the 2018 level for support. So yeah, there's just many arguments for the bullish bias. If we break above 265 to 268 billion, I suspect we get a continuation towards 310, 325, possibly even 360, and then the whole market crash we have witnessed in March is just a market crash and just a shakeout. And then the total altcoin market cap, lagging behind heavily, as you can see. 2080 floor on Bitcoin, 6k level is this level, in which we are still beneath with altcoins. And given that Bitcoin should be continuing the upwards momentum, altcoins should follow suit. Increased volume, suspecting accumulation, overall range bound movements. Flip the 100 DMA and 200 DMA as support, and now trying to break to the upside. Starting to continue grinding, and the real first target is 115 billion, which is for the total market cap a move from here of 35%. So, and then finally we're checking some altcoins, in which Ether is the one that's actually doing pretty much fine. Preferably I want to see it hold above 215 area, this green zone. It might dip lower to just take liquidity, but it should hold here and not come back all the way down. If it holds and consolidates, like it does here after just a breakout, like it did here after the breakout, I suspect we're seeing continuation rally towards these zones. Still crucial, same here, is 100 day and 200 day MA, but we have been pointing out such a scenario in which we wanted to see continuation in one of the videos on my platform, and still we're doing pretty much fine. And once Ether starts to run and starts to do well, the other majors will follow, and the other altcoins will follow, as the majority is still on Ether based. Another thing I wanted to say about Ether is that more and more is getting into lockup and off the exchanges, which is decreasing the amount of tokens in supply, which is only a good feature for the markets and which is similar to the ICO period. Good side note as well is that more and more fundamentals are getting into the game. Projects are releasing staking and their mainnet, which is causing the price to go up. So I'm thinking that we're just at the start of the bull market and some really heavy movements. I wouldn't be surprised if we get an Ether towards $400 or $500 somewhere this year. Then finally, Cardano starting to show some serious strength, and as we just saw Ether breaking above a range high, apologies. We see a similar structure as on Cardano, in which we had a resistance here for a while, tested the 100 day and 200 day MA, broke above, came back for a test in this exact same zone, and after that continuation. There is a resistance at this level at 7 cents, but it's not really big. I mean, it's a tap. So I'm looking at by the dip level over here, if I can get it. If I can't get it, okay, the idea is away, so I'll just take a different coin or a different setup. but mainly I suspect that we could rally towards the zone at 8 and 9 cents, and then we just vanish the whole drop down here and just make a new high, which is a new higher high after this one. So if you go back towards the Ether chart, you can see that we are in such a similar structure in which this area here is the range resistance, might get a new drop down, might be the lowest point at 206, but after that we continue rallying. So at the moment I'm not looking at bearish charts, I'm not looking at shorting. I enjoy the buying the dip and I will continue to do so. Stay safe. Tomorrow there's a new video. If you like this video, please subscribe, do thumbs up, reply. Monday live stream at 8 p.m. GMT +2, or follow me on Twitter at cryptomitchnl. Thanks for watching and I'll see you tomorrow.